Why does Tiger care? Why does he care that number 35 in the world, Thomas Pieters, who's probably a decent guy, is represented by the same agent? Why would he give a rip? Only if several things are true.
Yeah. With Mark Steinberg dropping Thomas Pieters. Thomas Pieters joins LIV. All of a sudden, nobody wants to talk to him anymore.
I wonder how many people in our audience, probably more than normal, would know that story already, that the Tiger's agent also was managing Pieters, was a top European player when he got going and has sort of not materialized. He's had reasonable success.
He's had a good career. He still was like 30th in the world.
Yeah. Solid.
He's
not
just
a
30th in the world. And he was angry that he didn't get invited to the Genesis. And
he's got Tiger's agent.
And he's got Tiger's agent.
And then Tiger's agent doesn't even call him.
Doesn't call him.
Sends him a note with the admin assistant that says, you're fired.
The administrative assistant.
We're firing you as a client.
His administrative assistant sent him a text. Yeah, you're no longer a client.
By the way, you're going to need representation.
I mean,
by the way.
So it's
what did I do? Was I caught on some sex tape in a hotel? No. You joined LIV.
You joined LIV, and that's it. And we are the only way the PGA Tour survives, the way they want to survive, is this complete war. And I think eventually,
but you got to put a dot on that. Tiger calls the agent and says, "Hey, I just saw that Pieters joined LIV. You're dropping him, right?" That's right. That's right, Mr. Woods. Wow. Absolutely. We already did it, in fact. We anticipated your phone call, and I'm trying to get you to speculate on the agent thing with Tiger because there's an angle there that's very interesting to thinking people, which is, why does Tiger care? Why does he care that number 35 in the world, Thomas Pieters, who's probably a decent guy, is represented by the same agent? Why would he give a rip? Only if several things are true. Yeah. Which LIV is a problem. We're going to be doing things. Tiger Woods is not the PGA Tour. What does he care if LIV's a problem? He's Tiger Woods. I'm not the PGA. Yeah. But we've speculated that Tiger Woods would love to be the PGA Tour. He would love to run the whole thing, or maybe Tomorrow Sports takes over the whole thing. So the fact that Tiger bothers to tell his agent, Mark, is it?
Mark Steinberg.
Mark. Hey, Mark, get rid of that guy. Tells me that Tiger's got prime interests in what's going on with the PGA Tour as a business and LIV, and Tomorrow as a business and LIV. So he sees himself getting out of golf, obviously, in the next 3, 4, 5 years, and being the guy that's going to run the show. And I cannot have my confidant, my agent, who I talk to, in the bathroom, so to speak, about everything, related to those guys, to the competitor. So you got to dump that. And Tiger's an assassin. It wasn't personal. He probably likes Pieters.
Well, but
you got to get rid of the guy.
The great thing about Tiger, as we had talked, family tour versus non-family tour, who's more of a family guy, Phil or Tiger? Okay. But the real point there is Tiger's going to do whatever keeps Tiger in favorable standing with the PGA Tour, because the PGA Tour is still his path to the majors, and they're going to allow him to keep his card, not play in any events, essentially, but practice occasionally in an event like the Genesis for a major.
See, you can't just gloss. You've made a great point, so I have to stop you and get you to focus on that point. Tiger Woods' last major victory, which was amazing, really, for him to pull that off, was what year?
Was it like 3-4 years ago?
2019? It would have to be Tiger in 19, right? So let's say Tiger wins the Masters in 19. And what the heck is going on in this place? So you got too many people running around this club. So Tiger wins the Masters in 2019, and that gives him till 2024.
5-6.
He's got till 2024, maybe 2025, whatever. His exemptions into the majors are... Now, maybe he sees that as about the same time he won't be capable, although he's Tiger. I doubt he really thinks that way.
Yeah.
If Phil could pull it off at 51, essentially, I'm Tiger Woods. I could do it at 52 or 53. And he may be right. I mean, who's to say?
But
you
my
know,
point is to
maybe he
allow
could.
him to pull it off. He cannot have a full
Well,
schedule.
that's the point you nailed.
Yeah,
well,
right.
no, sorry to go off. We're a little bit off on the Masters thing, but that exemption piece is a huge part of his strategy. I'm exempt, but what happens when I'm not exempt? And that's where you made an excellent point, which is, how does he get status to go to the majors? How does he do that? He can't play his way into the majors.
No, he's not going to have the ability to play his way to the majors.
He's going to need some kind of weird.
Well, he's going to get a sponsors type exemption.
But they don't do that. The majors don't do sponsors exemptions. I don't.
The Masters did give Greg.
He gets to play in the Open Championship till he's 60.
Right.
He gets to play in the Masters.
Right.
So for U.S. Open, he's got no status, and for PGA, he's got no status.
Yeah.
Now maybe that's good enough for him. He gets to play in 2 of the 4. But Tiger Woods wants one thing, and that's Jack Nicklaus's record. After that, everything else is a distant second. But one of those seconds is, running professional golf. And I call it running the PGA Tour, but you could call it whatever. Running Tomorrow Sports, which owns the PGA Tour, which would not surprise me at all if it comes to be that way. But would Tomorrow Sports, if Tiger's playing great, and the simulator, he looks awesome, and he's putting really well on the little fake green, does that get him into a major? Does that get him into the U.S. Open? Because he wants to play. He'll take anything he gets. He's not interested in the honor or the integrity of the game if it interrupts his ability to play in a major and possibly get Jack's record.
Correct.
True?
Correct.
True. I love Tiger because he's that guy in business that's 100% predictable and transparent, because he will do exactly what's best for him, and you can always figure out what that is because it's just one pathway. There's not multiple pathways for him. Fine. But Tomorrow Sports figures into that equation, which that means he would like to see Tomorrow Sports elevated above the PGA Tour. Absolutely. So if Tiger Woods has a chance to help the PGA Tour or not help the PGA Tour versus his own company, Tomorrow Sports Tour, what's he going to do? Yeah, we know that answer. I wonder if Jay knows that answer. Does Jay know that Tiger's actually his enemy?
I don't know. I don't know if Jay knows what day it is. So
Tiger Woods, that's an interesting thought for us. I just passed through my little brain. Tiger Woods really is the enemy of the PGA Tour because of Tomorrow Sports. And I would venture to say that most people in the PGA Tour, not all, because there's some smart people there's got to be, but don't know that. They're looking at Tiger like he's important to them and an ally and on their side, and he's not.
Yeah.
He's not. He's using them because they're useful right now, and they're using him, sort of, although he doesn't play in too many of their events. How many events is he going to play on the PGA Tour this year? He's not playing this week, right? The Players' Championship? No.
He's going to play.
He played the Genesis.
He's going to play the majors if he can.
Those aren't the two. That's not the PGA Tour.
My point is he's going to play the majors if he can.
He's going to do that.
I don't think he's going to show up anywhere else. Why would he?
Is he going to show up at the FedEx Cup playoffs?
No, he's not going to qualify. How's he going to qualify?
Correct. Right. He's not going to qualify.
I mean,
yes.
You can't just throw him in there. That would be a bigger problem.
He's not going to show. He doesn't want to play there anyway. He doesn't care. He's busy doing other things.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So I think it's a fair question. I'd love to see comments on this. What's the over and under? We got to do this gaming app. Liv, please call. We'll run the project. We'll get it up and running this year. What's the over and under on how many PGA Tour events Tiger will play this calendar year? He's played in one so far, I think, right?
Yeah.
Right? Just the Genesis.
Right.
At Riviera. Is he going to play in any more?
I would put the over-under at 1.5. Well, it's 1.5. You don't want to have a tie.
Right.
You got to take your juice. You got to make your juice on both sides.
It's 1.5, and
so
I take the under on that.
Does he play in one more? That's the only question.
I don't think so.
It's not about number of events. Does he play in one more PGA Tour event?
It would be Jack's event. If he did, would it be Memorial? He's won that.
I think it's going to, well, yes, potentially, because it's a limited field event. It depends on the calendar. It's one of those designated.
He would go and
play. It would be a
at
designated no-cut event. Why? Because if Tiger's going to show up, they want him there on Saturday and Sunday.
If Firestone had a tournament, he'd go there because he has won a zillion times there. Right. Or Torrey Pines.
Yeah.
Torrey Pines might be having a regular tour event.
Well, that's gone already. It's passed.
No, I meant another one. They were doing 2 a year there for a while. But whatever. Anyway. All right. Well, I don't want to get too far off, but that's an interesting element. And it all plays together. Tiger Woods is in the middle of every one of those conversations about what they're going to do with designated events. They'd love to have Tiger at the designated events next year.
By the
He
way,
still gets all the PIP money.
yeah,
It's not like he's a distant figure on the PGA Tour.
he still gets the most clicks. Yeah,
And he never plays.
He never plays.
Who said that? Somebody said that.
I think James Hahn was
Pointed
not.
it- oh,
James
yeah.
Hahn is the one guy who's